Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking Waves Impact Wars podcast. This is the second one of the double here. The big shout out to Joella. She was on here early at 5. The episode called A World of Weight. So big shout out to her, entrepreneur. She's been doing entrepreneurship since 2016. So big shout out to her. Like I said, man, I love it here in Texas. Even though I'm an Alabamian. But I have to say, man, there's some great people here in the state of Texas. I have to say, I appreciate y'all for giving this kid from Alabama the opportunity to spread his wings, do the podcast, come onto the show. I love hearing y'all stories. I know, Keith, you do a lot of great things here in the DFW and the surrounding areas with you networking, doing the Aggie events regularly. That's growing. Big shout out to Shy as well with the work that she's doing as well in the financial industry also. But I'm very excited here again that we're on this another episode here at Walking This Way Impact Was podcast. The name of the episode is called Everything I Touch Turns to Gold. Mm. How many of y'all know that every time y'all touch something, you prosper? Even the Bible tells you that everything you touch shall prosper. So you got to realize how much power, how much uniqueness, how much gifting that you have, that you have the most, that you, when you're in the will of the Most High, that He has everything already planned out. And I have a prime example with Keisha. Keisha, extraordinary individual. She is no stranger to the podcast. So Keisha, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience. I know you're no stranger here before. Every time I reach out to you, you gladly accept the invitation. It's never a no. If it is, it may be something that she's already done, but when her schedule opens, she always comes on. So go ahead and reintroduce yourself to the audience here on Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast.
Yes. So again, I thank you, Furman, for having I Am Radio on Walking His Ways Impact Voice podcast. Again, I appreciate everything that you're doing in the community. And nice to meet you, Shalonda. So this is our first time meeting. So pleased to meet you. So yes, again, my name is Keisha, and I am the owner and host of I Am Radio, as well as the founder and curator of the Arlington Merch and Mix. So I have, it's going on 3 years now. We're about to celebrate our 3-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yes, of I Am Radio and of the Arlington Merch and Mix. And so I have prided myself in being the boots on the ground media personality. My principles are informing, exposure, and advocacy. I have done international interviews with business owners, community leaders, nonprofit organizations, and also created a centralized space for those representatives to come out and network and shop and get in front of new customers. And I have really just been rewarded with being a part of such a large network, meeting people, just like yourselves. Hey, Mr. U.
Hey.
People that are really just taking the time and, digging into their passion and, providing us with their remarkable products and services. And so I've been blessed. I've been blessed to be a part of the community. I've been blessed to have an idea come into fruition and see that in 3D and just know that there's a need and what the response has been. And so, my goal is just to connect people with ideas and people with opportunities. And that passion has shown itself good over and over again.
And and that's what's up. And I know you have a very impressive resume. Keisha, you always consistent. You stay the same. You're never complacent. You stay the same. You know what you want. You know how to do it, and you constantly involve and interact. And I also have another guest with us as well. He's well known here in the DFW surrounding areas. He's out there. He's out there helping in the community, helping men find the rightful place, especially when we talk with the youth, all the way up to the elders as well. Mr. U, what's up? I appreciate you again, my brother, taking time out of your productive schedule to come on here on the show. I know you're doing some great things. Also, man, we got to give a big shout out to the Texas Rangers. They're going to the World Series.
Yes, I saw that, right?
Yeah, so big shout out to them. So I'm representing them like at the hat on today. So let's give a big shout out to the Texas Rangers. So Mr. U's been going on with you. I know you're doing a lot of great things in the city. So let's talk about it.
Oh man, that's great, Furman, man. I gotta pay homage, man. I definitely appreciate you having me on again. It's like my third time being on the show, man. It's always a pleasure. And now I got my partner Keisha on. I know I was running late, but I knew she was holding it down. That's the important part about having partnerships. You know what I'm saying? That's a prime example. And yes, I do have a lot of things going on, and I think the ability to do all of these things and work in such great collaboration with other artists that are just as passionate and just as dedicated to the art as I am, man, I think that what really makes the journey worth it. And I'm so grateful, man. I tell people all the time, man. I'm enjoying being a vessel that God is working through. So I want people to know that it's not just me that's out here moving and shaking and appearing to be all over the place. It's really God that's really working through me and allowing me just to be a vessel, man. Just to express and do His will through my art, man. And what I love to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, man, I'm just ecstatic. I'm just happy. I'm overjoyed just to be on this other side of so many things, you know what I'm saying? And being able to experience and enjoy and share this with so many people, man, because it's so life changing, man, to see these people and put them in positions. Like Keisha was saying, I came in on a great point that she was making. Just being able to connect people, man, and seeing people elated and seeing people excited to do what they put so much, passion into. I enjoy just setting the stage and being a person of influence that makes people even want to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I love it, man. And Keisha is clutch, man. I can't even begin to talk to you guys about how amazing she is just from in the light that I met her. She was doing an award ceremony, celebrating others. You know what I'm saying? And that right there just really made me intrigued on knowing who she was. You know what I'm saying? And as I continue to like do my research, I'm like, man, this is what I'm talking about. Cause that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So being able to collaborate with her and her brand, I Am Radio, it's really like a dream come true because what I'm saying, we both have that passion and we talk about things like we had a powerful session this morning. We talked um and it was crazy. It was inbox, but the words and the conversation was so powerful. And she said some things that I really need to hear, even with my longevity in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Being able to connect with individuals like her and, what I'm saying, and just sharpening each other. You know what I'm saying? Like bouncing ideas off each other, collaborating with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a give and take relationship, you know what I'm saying, in business. So to connect with somebody like that gets it, you know what I'm saying? And it's so selfless and so giving, it's such an inspiration to connect with somebody else that's like that because that's everything that I stand for. Empowerment in the community, being out, making a change in people's lives. You know what I'm saying? It's just she gets it. So it's like it makes my effort and my job so much easier and so much enlightening to just, go out and do what I do. I really appreciate it.
And that's a beautiful thing. Just staying focused, working, putting your hands to the plot, and moving forward and progressing into the things. Because it's a big thing to accomplish. And there's a lot to accomplish out there, and having fun with it as well. I know Shy. I know she had some questions for you. I know she was very excited about me. You, Mr. You shared a lot of great things. She was very excited. I know she said I had to come on the show. So Shy, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I am so geeked up. I don't even know why I'm at the show, right? I really am. And I was like, you know what, Furman, you and I kind of kicked it around a little bit. Like, I just want to have some fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what it's all about.
can we have some fun tonight? I don't know. So listen, just real quick, Mr. U, Keisha, first of all, nice to meet both of you. I'm totally inspired
Likewise.
by the two of you so much. Just real briefly, I've been in the industry for like 8 years, right? Been in like radio, TV, hosting, movies, all the entertainment stuff, right? And then all those gigs went away in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Mr. U, listen, it was a whole nother story when that pandemic hit, right? So I had to like pivot, sometimes we have to learn to pivot. God's shutting doors. We have to learn how to pivot, right? So I went into
Right.
finance and I became, a licensed financial coach and whatnot. So that just gave me a different platform to be able to help God's people in such a great way. And so that's why I'm here now, because I'm like, okay, it's time to get back into, on the airwaves.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
You know, and so I'm super excited about that. But Mr. U, I have a bone to pick with you, sir.
I knew it was coming. I knew. I welcome it.
So listen, I'm like, okay, Mr. U, he's known for fashion guru. He got it going on right. He gonna come like, he gonna come like he gonna come. So I'm thinking, okay, I had my little polo shirt on from earlier today, right? Greg come on the show. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. It's a podcast. I could actually put on my hoodie. It's no big deal, right? I could be like, and I was like, but it's Mr. U, Shy. You know what I'm saying? Mr. U gonna come like you know. I just want at least you can put on a blazer. You know what I'm saying? You know, because when you are in the presence of Mr. U, you gotta be like, girl.
That is so funny.
Mr. U, didn't I tell you?
That is funny.
We have an event coming this weekend, and I told him I was going to be Felicia for Halloween, right? I told you that
We
last
was rolling.
we did our promo video. I just wrote him yesterday or this morning. I said, you know what, Mr. U, I'm not going to be Felicia. How dare I come looking a hot mess in your presence?
It just cannot happen, right? So that's my question, Mr. U, okay? Because you shocked me tonight, okay? That's okay. But my question is, right? Being you, do you understand that you have a way of elevating people, right?
Yes.
That's something that I realized. You actually have a way of elevating people. So when did you realize that people have to come up to, you know, a different level when it comes to, you know, how you carry yourself and how you expect for them to carry themselves around you?
I think I really walked into that when I began to have mentors. My mentors really enlightened me and taught me that everybody don't have that it factor. You know what I mean? I was a kid as I here, been through the struggles, come from, you know what I'm saying, come from the sticks, you know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times, like, the way I stood out was misunderstood. You feel me? So once I became more mature and who I was, like, look, this is who I am regardless. You know what I'm saying? I just have this gift or this pop for colors and textures and fabric and style and image, and I just have it. You know what I mean? So when my mentors really sat me down and taught me, like, look, everybody don't have that. You know what I'm saying? That is something that you can give to people and show them that they can feel great about themselves no matter the amount of money in their pocket. You know, because once you're able to coach and teach people confidence, you know what I'm saying? And once you realize that that's something that a lot of people don't have, and, you know, a way to do that is through wardrobe, fashion, style, creativity, expression. You know, that's when I really, you know, realized, like, hey man, God has really blessed me with something that it stands out. And no matter who agree with it and who don't, you know what I'm saying, be who you are no matter what, you know. So that's what I held on to. My mentors taught me that, and, you know, I'm here to serve. I'm here to teach people, like, look, you don't have to be out here wearing Saks Fifth Avenue, wearing Macy's, wearing all these high fashions, you know what I'm saying, to express yourself or to have personality or to have character, to have confidence. You know, that you can't put a price on that. It's about, you know what I'm saying, being individual, being yourself. And, you know what I'm saying, you'll find your place as well.
You mentioned being yourself, and I know last time we're in this time where I was reading the book earlier, From Knowledge to Self. It's always good to get to know yourself. So helping people find their niche, finding who they really are, being comfortable in who they are, and finding their style. So I like what you say, and that just really helping them find out who they are, what they like, what gets their attention, what gets their mojo going. I like that.
I'm gonna tell you something that Keisha reminded me of earlier. In my career, man, like, I'm mature now. I'm 38 years old. I've been through a lot, and I know my mistakes. You know, I know the things that I've done wrong. You know, so I accept that accountability. But Keisha reminded me, you know, it's never too late for all of us to make a change and start to make those corrections with those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was so clutch for me, because, like, I do hold that chip on my shoulder, like, man, I got to go hard because, you know what I'm saying, because of this, because of that, I have my whys, you know. But when she said that, you know what I'm saying, I know she probably didn't really understand how it would, you know what I'm saying, you know, pour into me, but it really did, because I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, you have this gift, you have this purpose, right? And you have a choice whether to use it for good or bad, you know. So, you know, it was a long time. It was so much darkness in my world. It was so much, you know what I'm saying? It was I was going through so many things, and it's like I didn't understand why. You know what I'm saying? Like why was I going to but it was those hardships. It was those mistakes that I made. It was those hardships that I could control that helped me realize that's where I found my gift. That's where I found my purpose. I found my purpose going through the hard. You know what I'm saying? You can't avoid the hard to get to who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because that hard is who you are. That hard is who you become on the other side of that hard, or those trials, those tribulations, those moments where you don't understand if you don't know if you're gonna make it. That's who you are within that. And that's how I found myself. That's how I found my passion. That's how I found when all those kids was talking down on me and I didn't fit in with nobody. It was hard. But look who I became, look who I am, look who I found out I was all along within that pain. You know what I'm saying? So don't avoid the pain, man. Go through it because you're gonna find yourself.
Hey, and that's what's up. And I know Keisha, you want to go ahead and time in. I know you do a lot of great things, Keisha as well. How did this partnership come together with you and Mr. U?
So I love Mr. U. I really do love him. He is so much. He's just too much to grasp. And I have to be honest. So let me take my time with this to really paint a story. Because I do have a big brand. I have an established brand, and sometimes we deal with imposter syndrome. Like, is this really mine? Like, am I really doing this? Am I really making this impact? And when Mr. U reached out to me to do a show, and Mr. U doesn't know this story, so surprise.
Oh yeah. Like I'm listening, I'm just listening.
So when I can't remember exactly what was going on, but I deal with it a lot. So I'm just being transparent. So, he reached out during a time where, I had a lot of personal stuff going on. And I always have personal stuff going on when I'm about to do. It was right before my last Merchant Mix. I always have some stuff. It's like God telling you, like, how bad do you want this? Like, okay, whatever. And so I was like, Lord, do I want to do another Merchant Mix? Mind you, I've done like 19 Merchant Mixes, and I still get the same anxiety, the same scaredness every Merchant Mix, okay?
She never looked like it, though. She never looks like she's nervous.
Like it, but I do. And so I was dealing with one of those imposter syndrome moments that no one knew about. And so when Mr. U asked me to be on his show, I was like, this man, Mr. U, wants me on his show. I was like, okay. And I made sure I was very intentional with what I wore. I made sure that I wore Mr. U. I was like gothed out, like, because that's really me. People always see me in a certain light and don't understand who I am. Just as a people always put me on this pedestal. So I'm like, when I go to Mr. U's show, I'm going to be Keisha. So I was all gothed out, and I got to go to his show, and he was very intentional. And this is what I liked about it, is that he already had an agenda. So he already had a nonprofit organization. And so shout out to Pay It Forward Projects, Miss Mary.
Man.
So he ensured that we crossed paths because she had an interview right after mine. So we were able to collab. I was able to share with her what I did. And we were able to take care of her.
That was like Keisha, you're being like that meeting with you meeting Pay It Forward Projects was so freaking intentional.
It was.
And where the doors that you were able to open for her, Keisha, that's God's work.
Yeah.
That is it's like Jesus Christ.
Yes, I just showed up, and I showed up as myself. I was able to share, and I was able to provide, what she needed at that time. And I was able to share some vulnerability, I think, on Mr. U's show. I'm waiting for people to hear that interview because they will just see some vulnerability as the owner of I Am Radio and as the founder of the Arlington Merchant Mix. I was very vulnerable in that session. I think the most about my business, I think, and my passion is probably the most vulnerable that I've been, because I was in a vulnerable space during that time. And from there, actually, it was that day. I was like, hey, I have a merchant mix coming up. And he was like, oh, I would love to host. And I was like, oh, really? Come on. And, you know, we got him to host. He jumped right in. And it's so funny because I was going through so much the day of. My DJ couldn't make it, so we didn't have a DJ. So these are the real things that go on behind the scenes, okay? So I didn't have a DJ. The other one didn't have a wireless microphone. I need people to be on the stage, not back by the DJ booth giving speeches. And here we go, me and Mr. U, while he's supposed to host the event, we're in the back of the merchant mix, sneaking into the DJ booth and trying to find batteries to this microphone that we found. And neither of us know how it works. Neither of us are DJs. And let me tell you, we made it work. He was DJ Mr. U. That day, it was one of the best merchant mixes because of all of the little details. God had to show me it. Like I said, it was like, how bad do you want it? It's not gonna look like what you think, you know. It's every little minute thing that goes into it. It's not always the end result. It is the journey. It is literally the journey. People want the big response and they want the following and they want so much based off of what you see on social media. I can tell you right now, I've worked with many people. They don't have the girth to endure what this takes. And from there, after that experience with Mr. U and seeing how he was so ready to be flexible, innovative, and just a straight head spear in that event, it just came natural. And so we just started having additional conversations, seeing where we can add to each other, first of all, because that's what networking is. People always think, oh, you know, I'm going to go into this networking thing and they want something out of it. And I think the thing that sets me and Mr. U apart is that we balance each other out in our weaknesses. And I think the great thing is that we have two powerful people that are really, and this is not to be, you know, this is not to put us on a pedestal, but, you know, you have two powerful people that are really doing the work, that have finally been able to be vulnerable with each other and say, hey, look, this is going on the back end. I'm struggling with this. You're struggling with that. How can we cultivate our strengths and balance each other out on our weaknesses? And these are the constant conversations that we have on the back end. But when you look at it in the public eye, it was like, wow, you know, but we talk all the time and we talk about real stuff. We talk about our weaknesses and we glean from one another. I mean, he exposes me to things that I don't know and vice versa. And we just really learn from each other and we have a lot to give. And to meet someone that is a giver and that is passionate and that has the art of reciprocity down, it's a blessing. And so I've really am honored to have someone like him.
Hey, you know, that's an awesome thing as well. Shy, you want to chime in?
Yeah, you know, I absolutely adore your partnership, right? Partnership is key. And one of the things that I take away from the two of you is your edification of each other. I think if we knew how to edify each other better, even in our partnerships, in our marriages, with our children, our family, people that we are in covenant with, and like you said, the two of you, if we continue to let people know what you mean to us, what things that you add to us, how you balance me out, how you bring me joy, how you bring me vision, how you bring me closer to my dreams. I think that's absolutely incredible. And I love how you two have aligned your lives to a degree where you can, it's like the yin and the yang, right? I don't know the depth of your relationship, but I absolutely love the way that you speak about each other and to each other. And I pray that takes you for a very long way. And Keisha, I love your passion for people. And it's so funny because I'm a doodler and I actually write like things. And right here where I said, Keisha, I love the passion for people. It says dream the impossible. And so I just want to speak that prophetically in your life to continue to dream the impossible. You are a big visionary and God has blessed you immensely, right? And so you have to continue to dream deeper and even more so, right? I really love to how Mr. You were talking about your mentorship, because it's important that we cultivate that mindset, right? We cultivate that mindset. But Mr. I have a question for you, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, I came from the other side of the tracks, right?
Right.
I didn't come with a silver spoon in my hand. No one really taught me how to dress nicely and things. But my question is, you can dress like, okay, Keisha, this is me and you, girl, right? He can dress nice, right? They can dress nice. They can put on a nice pair of shoes, what I'm saying? They can have the bag, right? But my question is, where does the class come from? Because, baby, it's the class for me, right? Come on, Keisha.
Right.
You gotta have you, girl. You gotta have you, girl.
Right.
But it's
Look, this is not to be funny. I mean, I look, I'm a media personality too. So
yeah.
But sometimes, yes, just even being around him, I'd be like, I don't.
I've never been around the man ever in my life, but I come in with the blazer on,
good.
like
He inspires you to want to level up, like for real. Like he just looks good all the time, even in his shirt.
So Mr. U, where does the class come from? Because that's another level, right? Because you can be classy. I don't know if you can even. Does that come naturally? I don't know. I believe class is something that comes from within. I really, truly do. No matter if you're taught it or not, I think you just have this class about you. So the question is, where does the class come from?
I think the class is the desire of wanting to just be a better human. I think like one thing my mom always taught me, man, she saw it in me early too. Of course she's my mom. So she always taught me, like, look, don't let the clothes make you, you make the clothes. So for a long time, I pondered on, like, what does she mean by that? But, with maturity, with God's timing, I started to understand what she meant. You know what I mean? So that's how you guys are able to see me do a lot of the things that I do and accomplish is that I make the clothes. The clothes don't make me. Like I don't have to go out and buy like a high price item to make me, be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It's like no matter what I put on, it's like that personality that's going to be behind it. I wanted to be more powerful. Like Keisha gave me an amazing compliment earlier. And I said, you know what? That's something that I heard all my life, but I always worked hard to be more than just that. You know what I mean? Because you can put clothes on a dummy, and he's not really making no difference in the community. He's not, he's not inspiring people. He don't have a voice. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, where the class come from, man, it's just, like I said earlier, it's just learning from your mistakes and just wanting to be a better person, be a better human. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not living if you're not learning, Right. So it's like you learn your mistakes, you realize them, and you're like, okay, I want to be a better person. Like I'm accepting accountability for the things I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? I might make some more mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let the fashion fool you. It's like I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But I'm striving to be a better person with realizing my mistakes and being aware of my surroundings, being aware of who I'm connected to, and just returning the energy that they give to me. You know what I'm saying? Like from personal relationships, business relationships, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like look at all the things that you've been through. Look at all the relationships. I got so many business partnerships on the table right now. It'll make you guys head spin. And people thinking it's just me, but it's really is like I'm connected to some other powerful people. Period. It's not just Mr. U, you know what I'm saying? But it is like a kind of a little slogan on what my name come from, Mr. U. You know, so I'm Mr. U, you know what I'm saying? Like the U in you, you know what I'm saying? And I just want people to I just want to be a mirror, bro. Like if I can do it, you can do it too. That's Mr. U. You know what I'm saying? He's not this perfect person, but you can be you. You know what I'm saying? So with that, man, just the class, the personality, the way I do my events, the people who I like to partner with, the stuff that I like to listen to, the stuff that I like to, that's all style to me. That's Mr. U style. It's not just about the clothes I put on, y'all. It's about the way I do things. It's about what I believe in. It's about who I hang with. It's about the conversations that I have. It's about, you know what I'm saying? It's about the complete image. It's not just about the clothes, y'all. I think a lot of people get wrapped around. Oh, he's in the fashion industry. He can put it. He can find you something to wear, bro. I can do so much more than that for your life.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. So it's all within the consultation. Y'all hit me up.
And that's what's up. And before we go further in the fur, we'll take a quick commercial break. And after this commercial break, we're going to jump right back into our conversation. Everything I touch turns to go with Mr. U and Keisha Sanchez. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
My dreams come alive when I look in your eyes. Set my heart off through the day. Feelings that never go away. The bond we have, I know we can lose. FaceTime me when you're lonely. I just wanna see you tonight. We'll praise the skies of love.
Man, don't be falling asleep, man. You know you fall asleep in there in the job, bro.
I'm tired, man. It's been a long day, man.
Man, don't fall asleep. Look. Don't fall asleep, man. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep, man. All right. Right back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here on Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. We're broadcast right here in the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. Everybody wants to know what it is. Along with my special guest co-host, Shiloh in the building. Also, our featured guest, Mr U Keisha Sanchez, also in the building. Everything I touch turns to gold. We're talking about partnership, accountability, working together, feeling. Not say feeling each other out, but complimenting each other, and that's what it's all about. I know we've mentioned things came up like weaknesses and stuff like that, but how to cultivate through those weaknesses, but also make things to make the collaboration beautiful. So what's the mindset y'all both develop within this partnership to overlook the weaknesses, don't allow the weakness to get in the way, but go along with, okay, we know we got a mission at hand, we got an assignment at hand. So how did y'all cultivate that mindset for those who wants to know, who may be struggling in that area when it comes to weaknesses, or whatever weakness it may be?
Well, I can speak. So we're actually talking about this amongst each other. So, you know, when you have people that are very passionate about what they do and are really out here doing the work, I think a lot of the misconception is that this is all that they do, right? Like people go on social media and think like I Am Radio is all that Keisha does, and that Mr. U's Closet and Mr. U's show is all that they do, and that's what makes up who they are. And no, like people fail to realize that I'm a mother of three. You know, I have a 17, 16-year-old and a 9-year-old. I have a career. I've been doing bankruptcy law for 7 years. I also, you know, I have I Am Radio. I have the Arlington Merchant Mix, but I'm so much more than what people see on social media. And the same thing for Mr. U. So behind the scenes, me and Mr. U are able to have those real conversations. We don't have to come at each other like I'm Mr. U and I am radio. You know, we're able to say, you know what, this is what I'm going through today. This is where I'm lacking in my arena, you know, and you know, are you good at this? Like, and we are so forthright. We are so willing to pick each other up, you know, in those instances. And one thing we were laughing about is, you know, just real life stuff. Like over the past couple weeks, I've been going through a huge transition personally, and me and Mr. U have a lot of stuff coming up. And so I'll get kind of distracted. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go post the event. And then I get on social media. I'm like, oh my God, Mr. U already posted the event. Like he's on it. I'm good. Like the exposure is out there. And then there'll be some days where Mr. U is being a normal human being. And he's like, oh shoot, I got to go on and post. Like, okay, Keisha's on it. So I think part of it is having two people that naturally just know what to do, that knows what needs to be done. And in the event there's a deficit or where we forget, the other one automatically remembers. And I think that's the comforting balance in it. I mean, at least for me. What about you, Mr. U?
Oh, definitely. You know, I think from what I take from what you were saying is that it's just you being in sync. You know what I mean? It's like where you don't have to necessarily talk to your business partner every day. You know what I'm saying, or things of that nature. But it's still a invisible existence that you're conscious of, right? Like, you know, like yeah, Keisha, like we're both human. We understand that about each other, but at the same time, I think we still know each other's superpower at the same time. You know, like I have trust and I have faith. I have belief in who she is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's so genuine to give those compliments or say those certain things. Like, you know, and reminding her she got this, you know what I'm saying, or reminding her like, look, so the event is going to be crazy, you know what I'm saying, we got this, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. There's those little things too, outside of just doing the operations, you know what I'm saying. You gotta have those moments. You're gonna have those moments because that is how we built. We built on emotions. We built on, all of these elements that, that takes to build a powerful anything. You know what I mean? So being in the right mind and being conscious of those things, man, it's just, and I don't know. I think it just comes from, multiple collaborations. The most part of my career, I've done a lot of things out of collaboration, out of partnership. So, it's just a development. It's just a thing that you just grow to know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and not saying that her and I know everything, guys. I mean, I got other partners right now, like they teaching me stuff too that I just bring to the table and apply to this partnership. You know what I mean? So it's a forever growing process, guys. You know what I'm saying? We're not on here saying like, oh, we Batman or Superman and Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? No, we still growing too. It's things that we're still learning, but I feel like, and I know for a fact, and I believe in my partner that we know what we know. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And at the end of the day, if all else fails, that's what we have to lean on, is that I know what I know. And I think another thing that I respect about Mr. U is that he is who he says he is, who he presents himself to be on social media. It takes a lot for me to be inspired. I have some very powerful people in my life, and I've lived a very powerful life. I've lived many lives, and it takes a lot for me to be inspired by a man. And Mr. U, I'm inspired by him. I'm inspired by his journey. I'm inspired by his work. I'm inspired just by his day-to-day that I've come to learn along the way. And, I told him this morning that it's a blessing to be able to invite each other into each other's worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And you find uniformity. Like I might not know this world, but you make it feel so comfortable to me that I'm open to exploring. And
the fashion industry.
Earlier, it's just not with this partnership. Like if we can find this like in our marriages and in our friendships and all these other relationships, I think it'll really be a game changer. It's so important, and we're just blessed that a lot of stuff just comes naturally for me and Mr. U. And I think that's just what makes it easy, even though the work is not easy, but certain things come easy. We don't have to sweat the small stuff. Even though it's big stuff, we don't have to sweat it.
Yeah, that's, you know what? Yeah, that's I know what's said tonight. It has to be said. I know that much need to be needed. Because this is a beautiful thing. What I'm saying, it's a very beautiful thing. And last week, me and Charlotte, we were talking about this clip what Jada said. Everybody doubted Jada, but it's this clip that she did the interview with, and I'm gonna play this clip right quick. And I just want us to elaborate on it. And it's not no bash thing, but
what I'm about to do.
But I just want y'all to listen to what she said. That's very, very important. That really stuck out. And we talked about this last. We'll play this clip.
If Will looked back and was trying to give me whatever the hell it was I was asking for, he wouldn't have been able to accomplish it anyway. Because if I'm not connected to myself, if I don't have a good relationship with me, there's nothing he can do. So I was going to be asked out anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's part of the journey. There's no right or wrong. Everybody's always trying to find the good guy or bad guy in people's stories. There's no good guys or bad guys. We're all wounded trying to figure this shit out. And so it took me a long time to realize it is not his responsibility to make you happy. He can't. It's impossible. But it took me forever hard-headed, stubborn, you know, because that romantic idea. And that's why I talk about checking the boxes. It's like, I did everything I was supposed to do. You get to have your dream. How come I'm not having mine? And that's because Will was doing what he wanted to do.
He was making himself happy.
He was making himself happy.
And he says that to you, doesn't he? He says, when you separate, he says he wants you to go and...
He's like, go
make yourself happy?
Go make yourself happy.
And how did you receive that?
Not well. You gotta do it on your own. Gotta do it on your own.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to, and it was crazy before you even played that video. I wanted to chime in, but I wanted to respect what Keisha was saying and not cut her off. But meeting people where they're at, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't change people. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, they develop these expectations and all of these things, and it becomes a letdown for themselves. But it's like it becomes a blame on the next person when they don't make you happy or they didn't meet your expectations. And it's like, it's like that's a thing you're gonna let yourself down. But like mean people, like as far as Jada and Will's situation, like Keisha and I, we don't have that type of relationship. But from speaking from an understanding of where their relationship was at and where it went, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to find that happiness within yourselves, because we all have a past. We all got things that we're not so happy about. We got things that we're ashamed of. We got things that's deep within inside of us that nobody else knows but us. So until we deal with those things, you know, we can't find happiness outward. We got to find it inward, and then it shines or shows outward. So, you know, when it comes to a partnership or collaboration, you know, I think Keisha and I, we understand each other's strong suits. And it's like, okay, well, we know what we can do. We know how we can impact the community together. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I know I have boundaries. I know Keisha has them too. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that we still able to share tidbits with each other to keep each other on our toes, that's a different type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? And a respectful relationship at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna go kicking Keisha doors down like, Keisha, you should have did this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not gonna do her like that's my business partner, and there's a respect there. You know what I'm saying? Like, she talked to me about things that I hold dear to my heart, because I'm like, man, it's like it takes a lot to open up to a person about certain things that you're going through. But it's like looking at it from a standpoint of like, I'm not taking that for granted. Right. I'm taking that as a person who's opening up to me because she seeks help, or she seeks guidance, or she seeks advice, not somebody that's going to bear down on her or point a finger at her for what she's doing wrong or right. That's not what life is. That's not what friendship is. You know what I'm saying? It's about being here for each other. We all are fighting a battle. We all are struggling with something. Right. If you're living, bro, you're going through something. It's not life without that. You know what I'm saying? It's no life without struggle. You know what I'm saying? So being there for each other and being more understanding, bro, I think that's what it's really about, meeting each other where you're at. And, you know, being that aid to helping somebody find their happiness, that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard out here trying to do anything by yourself. But when you have those friends via partnership, via homie, via whatever, that helps it easier for you to find your happiness, bro, those are the ones that you hold close to.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. And he couldn't have said that better. The crazy thing is I was talking to Mr. U about a project that I want to work on next year. And I told him, I said, hell, if they hate Jada, they're going to hate me. Did I tell you that? I never got really involved or cared for what the whole Will and Jada thing, because I'm a media personality. I know how media works. So
right, publicity.
Put it out there as clickbait, and we don't give people the full story. We just want the numbers. And last weekend I always listen to like Sid Guru or Alan Rabarge, like certain people that I listen to for meditation. And I ran across one of Jada's interviews, and I was like, you know what? It wasn't about what they had going on. I was just like, let me listen to the girl. And I was in like snot nose therapy all day after listening to her, because I realized that me and Jada, we have a lot in common. Our stories from dysfunctional childhood to drug addiction to suicide. Just like Jada, I never knew she dealt with that. So to hear someone of her caliber experience something that I just overcame. I literally almost tried to take my life in 2019. That is not too long ago. That's right before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And to hear her, I just knew it was real, because only someone that has been there before can identify the authenticity of it. And that's why it's so important for us to stop being scared of being vulnerable, because you don't know who you're going to touch and whose life you're going to impact. And that is actually how I Am Radio was birthed. I mean, I Am Radio is literally the third eye, and the transformation that I went through, the mentor that I had that tapped into another side of God consciousness and self accountability, and tapping into my purpose and tapping into my healing. So my purpose, just like Mr. U, is really for other people to experience that healing and transformative effect that I have literally experienced in my life. And
no, for real.
When I listen to Jada and I look at Will, I see two people that are just willing. And it takes a lot nowadays for people to just be willing to fight the good fight, no matter what's going on. And, at the end of the day, we just have to be human.
Right.
We have to create spaces that allow it to be okay to lay all these identities and labels aside and just say, I'm human. And I think that's been one of my go-tos these past couple months. I've been able to be vulnerable in my events. I've been able to be vulnerable in my partnerships. I've been able to just be human, because for 3 years I took off and people just put me on this pedestal like I had all the answers, and really I didn't. What I did with the Merchant Mix is I was in a lot of prayer, and I was people watching, and I got to pull people in that I knew that just got it. And our principles are informing, exposure, and advocacy. And it was just to create that space for people to be human and to address those real day-to-day issues that we deal with as a people. And and like I said in my interview with Mr. U, I told him, I was like, because he's like, why don't you charge for your events? And I'm like, I still have not touched. I said, I have not touched the market of people that I know that is underserved, that don't have access to the information that I know I have. So before I charge someone for it, I have to know that I've touched the people that can't afford it. Period. And I'm gonna hang on that, because it's so important. You can't put a price on somebody's life. You can't. And that's where my passion comes from, it, because I've been there. People wouldn't look at me and know that I dealt with low self-esteem, and that I was on my deathbed, and that I
Like, no way.
overdosed at one point. Like, no one would ever think. They just see I Am Radio and Arlington Merchant Mix. They don't understand why I do it. And, you know, to have someone like Mr. U that is human, that I can share this passion with, and that also is vulnerable and sharing his, you know, journey. It's only when that happens that something to the magnitude of what's about to happen can flourish.
That part.
That's
That part.
what we're looking forward to do
I
in
think
our partnership.
I think also to piggyback on what you're saying, Keisha, I love that point you made. And it's about really, I've been in partnerships, guys. I've been in relationships where you would try to be vulnerable, and sometimes it don't always be the right person.
No, I don't.
Because you know, you have those people who prey on vulnerability. If you know what I mean.
Right.
So what Keisha and I are trying to say to you guys is the fact of this being such a harmonious relationship where it wasn't anything that she did or anything that I did to really attract each other. It was like the ether. It was like the energy. It was like who she is and been through, and who I am and been through. It is twirling right now. You know what I'm saying? It's an energy of its own that we're just enjoying. We enjoying the wave as well. We have no control of our coming in or going out. It's like we're just operating in who God has for us to be right now. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about vulnerability, you got to look at it like I can't be vulnerable with everybody.
You can't.
I have that discernment, right? So, but when you know it, you know it. So it's like being connected with somebody who shares and opens up to me. It makes you easily want to open up and share certain things back. Like, look, you know what I'm saying? It's like I understand what you're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not judging you for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of the people. You may have more, but I'm one of those people that I'm in your corner, and I see the greatness in you. I see the amazingness. I see the blessing that's on your life. I see the credentials. I see the favor on your life. I see the It's like I want to see those and help bring those things out of you. Not just Keisha, everybody that I really come in contact with. And I've had people that actually double back and give me my flowers or apologize for things that they didn't understand in the moment of what I was trying to do and help them. They, you know what I'm saying? They misperceive it a certain way, but then they come back and be like, yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying? God works it out later. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that power that can make you understand something right now, but God does. And he'll work things out in a way in your world where he'll expose things to you and make you realize or think about things a certain later. It might be something that you got to go through that you ain't went through yet. Maybe your revelation ain't hit yet, but it all comes back, bro. So, you know, just finding those right people that you can be vulnerable with is the key to your to your other side of your success, man. When you can link with other like minds, and I ain't talking about just like minds in business, but you guys can harmonize, bro. You guys can harmonize in such a powerful, positive energy and space. It's an infinite success. It's an infinite light that lies on the other side of that mountain that you're trying to, if you're able to collaborate and harmonize in a perfect energy, bro, you're able to knock down any boulder stronger than any one man. When you have a aligned partnership, bro, it's in marriages. And I think that's what causes a lot of failures of marriages. They forget the strongness. They forget the unity that brought them together. They forget that power. They get away from it somehow, bro. And you know, to their defeat, it comes. But you know, when you have that understanding, and long as that understanding remains in that partnership, in that relationship, you both shall continue to rise. But once it fails, that whole mastermind is over.
Yeah, that's it. And I like what she was saying, how she was wanting to make herself happy. She wanted to find herself. And we know we all had that point where we just still learning ourselves. And it takes time for us to learn ourselves. It's not an overnight thing. But just the point was that she wanted to find herself.
He let her go. He let her go do it.
Yeah, and then
Because
you like go
how
ahead.
powerful was that? He understood that he didn't hold that. He understood he didn't hold that power, so he didn't force her to stay. He's
Hmm.
like, go find yourself, go find your happiness. Maybe it's not me, but I will still be here as your friend, as your support, as your help in any way that you need. That's what I see from it. I mean, it's so many theories and so much publicity behind all that. I don't really care about that. I got my own stuff. I'm trying to work. It's
Right.
like I try not to pay too much attention to that media distraction, but that's really what it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But just to look at it from a bigger aspect, you know what I'm saying, as a real person, I think that's some of the things that they're going through. And I wish Jada and Will the best, man. Yeah, because they have a family, they got kids, and they got all of this stuff that's that lies within their relationship that we might not even see. But I pray for them and wish them the best.
Yeah, because I said think about it just by learning yourself, and it's something that people learn like, oh wow, I can understand. Okay, finding yourself, and a lot of times we try to be the superhero. I'm going to come in and make someone happy, but they have to find their own happiness. Everything start with self first and self reflecting, and that's what it's all about. Like learning ourselves, learning who you are, developing a relationship. Because we was always taught, okay, love this person, love that person. What about loving ourselves? You love
That
yourself
part.
or you being selfish? But loving yourself is very important. Even the scriptures tell us, love your neighbor as you love yourself. If I don't love
Right,
myself,
right.
I can't love my neighbor. Whether it's in
I'ma love
marriage,
my neighbor.
business,
Right.
all that stuff. And
It's
that fits a lot of things.
Yeah, it's very important, and that's one of the biggest things that I spearheaded after my healing journey, after I survived the suicide, is the importance of everything that we've been asked or taught to give to other people. We need to give it to ourselves first. Like, I shall love myself first, then others. I should be loyal to myself, then others. I shall give to myself, then others. I shall pay homage to myself, then others. We The beautiful thing about life is not learning. I think we're starting to learn that the beautiful thing is the unlearning,
Right,
and
right.
then being
Oh my God, that's heavy, girl.
unlearning and being open to new perspectives and new ways
I
and
agree
new
with that.
strategies and new core beliefs. And that's where a lot of anxieties and depression and
That's
suicide
clutch,
ideation
Keisha.
suicide ideation comes from, is not having that foundation of who we are. We come out the womb and we're kind of infiltrated with all of other people's stuff,
That's
and
it.
that's why, like,
That's it.
my spiritual advisor said, Guru, it's like people taught us everything that didn't even work for them, right? They can only teach us what they know. And so one thing that's been ringing in my head that keeps me pushing is, like, even when I feel like I'm not up to par, where my grace comes, teach people where you've been. So
Right.
you want to teach people something different, go learn something different. People have to understand, like, if it's not working, stop. If the relationship is not working, if the and I don't, because of my platform, I'm always very careful with what I say, but people would have to know me and know my journey to understand my point of reference. But um, let's go back to marriage and let's go back to partnership. One thing I learned from this couple, or they just kind of said it, and it was like an aha moment. It's important to get the right people together the first time.
I agree
That's
with
why
that.
divorce rates are so high.
I agree
The
with that. I agree with that.
There's so many people that I've met in the past couple years of my life that were, like, more in alignment as a partner, that was like, dang, this could damn near be a marriage. We're just not married, right? I
Mhm.
get more benefit out of this, and it's not sexual, it's not intimate, but the emotional and
That's
spiritual
crazy. That's
intimacy
yeah.
that you would get, that they preach that you should get over a lifetime in a marriage, you can get that in a partnership, a friendship. And so to teach people how to heal and to organize their energies in a certain way to
Ooh, that's heavy. I like the way. Yes, organize that
very
energy.
careful here to attract your tribe. And I mean people that don't expect nothing of you, but they do because they have boundaries, but it's not a thing. You don't argue about it because it's just natural. It just happens, you know? And, you know, it takes a lot of self accountability, it takes a lot of open mindedness. It takes a lot of what are my personal boundaries, not even my personal boundaries. Before you get to aligning boundaries and setting boundaries, you need to understand what your personal patterns are. Like,
Mm.
how do you operate? How do you act when things don't go your way? What is your art of relating to people out in public and also those that are close to you? And
People
what
don't even talk about that. People don't even.
Yeah, like those are the type of like that's what we really need to be talking about. Not all this other crap that we're
Yeah.
talking about. Like we need to be talking about the real stuff.
Mhm.
And until people are willing and open to go there, like me, I don't want to talk about anything else. Like I'm really at the point to where it's like, can we get to the real stuff? Can we take these masks
Just the
off?
elephant in the room.
Can we elevate?
Basically,
Can we just elevate
it's just the elephant in the room.
as a human being, not as a wife, not as these labels, not as husband, not as father, not as dad. Like there's been so many fathers and mothers and they haven't came to self-actualization. So many people have died without peace, without finding peace. And
Mhm.
peace is free. And people still haven't experience peace of mind. We hear about it, the scripture, you know, people beg for it, they recite scripture, you know, God will give you peace that surpasses all understanding. People have recited it and has said it as an affirmation, as a promise, but have never experienced it a day in their life. Well, that's not the same for me. I've experienced it and I want people to experience it. And that's where the passion comes from. And that's why I respect Mr. U so much, is because I know that same energy is there. Like, I don't have to worry about, do we align?
And that's what's up. Charlotte, you want to time in?
Yeah, I want to chime in, guys. It's been a really great insight on the two of you, your partnership, right? Partnership is so powerful. And the one thing about partnership is like God ordains partnership. He gave Adam Eve, right? He
Yes,
ordained it. He knew that two was better than one. And so it is so awesome how along our journey, God brings us together, different people that we didn't even see coming, right? In different capacities to actually help us along this journey. Our minds align, our thoughts align, our energies align, and that's what that catapults you to that next stratosphere along your journey. And so, unfortunately, people miss it. Right? They're like, "Oh, it doesn't look like it," or again, you have an agenda.
all the time, all the time.
But God is called it to
Yeah,
be, right? So we've
Trevor,
missed
you
those
know it's
things.
true. Trevor,
And
you know
since
it's
we've
true.
missed those and since we've missed those connections, we've delayed ourselves. We delayed that progression. If we knew what it was when it came, then boom, that would have been to that next level. So I really appreciate how the two of you have come on one accord and you can continue to build each other up on that. Number two, you can't go through unless you spell rough, right? You can't spell through unless rough, right? So
I
things
like
are
that.
going to
I
come.
like
God said
that.
trials and tribulations will come, but be of good cheer, have overcome the world. So if we understood things are going to come, it's going to be rough, but He gives us the Keishas in our lives. He gives us the Mr. U's and the Furmans of our lives to keep us going and keep us encouraged through that rough time, right? God said to love others as we love ourselves. That's like the second commandment. We're supposed to love Him, you know, saying above everything, and then ourselves, God, others like ourselves. So I think if we were more in alignment with loving ourselves and loving God first, then of course we can love our neighbors. Secondly, I want to say this, talking about Jada. She kept on saying, I had to find me. I had to find me. I had to find me. In my brain, that really translated, I had to find the God in me. Right. I had to
Right.
find the God in me, because I think that if we were to be God seekers, Come on, somebody. If we were to be more God seekers rather than people pleasers and people seekers, we'd be more free, right? If we woke up every day asking God and seeking God for our day and the things that we're supposed to do, then we would be walking a lot more free, right? But what we do, we call Keisha, what you think I should do today? How you would tell me I was pretty today, girl. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? We all wrapped up in the wrong things, opposed to saying, God, who would you love for me to talk to today? Who am I supposed to connect with today? Oh, Mr. U, hey, listen, God said this and da da da. Boom, that catapults him to his next journey, right? But I think if we stayed in that alignment, we would definitely be more powerful in the things that we have to do with God, right? And also, too, you said something, Mr. U, that was very powerful. That I'm done because I have to actually get off of here. I have a whole other thing going on right here, right? They need me. So listen, when I'm thinking about this, right? And then because Mr. U, I had some other questions, so you're gonna have to come onto the Queen's Lounge, when on my podcast, and we're gonna have to talk about this because I want to know,
Hey, shoot me an invite. I'm open to it. Shoot me an
listen,
invite.
because I want to know what's the best perfume and cologne for a woman. What's the best cologne for a man? I want to know these things. Okay, so we'll talk about
That's
this.
a whole
Y'all
yes,
talking about some
yes.
deep stuff. So it's returning the energy, right? I've been hearing that a lot lately. People are returning the energy, Mr. U, right? I am
Yes.
respecting my boundaries and I am returning the energy that you're giving to me, right? Because as
Right.
we do mature, what do we start realizing? I don't have to accept your negative energy. I don't have to accept
Right.
your pessimism. I don't have to accept your doubt. I don't have to accept your fear, your anxiety, because I got my own, right? So listen,
Right.
I need to, and that's what
The
the two of you
boundaries too.
have. You connected your energy, so you're able to, saying match your energy and return that energy, and that's where that synergy comes from. So I am so honored to meet the both of you. I think that you have incredible platforms. Nothing that I can literally even add to it, but I would love to be able to speak to you on a whole another time, right? Furman, please bring us back. Right, I would love
Furman, you
to.
gotta bring us back,
I
bro.
will.
Yes.
Yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, definitely. Because I got some questions. I need to know how often we need to update our wardrobe. I got questions.
Oh yes, and I
You
have
know,
answers for all of that. I have answers for all of that. I'm such a seasoned stylist. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about the fluff for me. It's like it's about the whole breakdown, the whole picture, the whole philosophy of fashion. I am the godfather.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then
the
you talk about
Godfather. He said the Godfather. Okay, all right,
so they
Furman.
need to talk about that too, like preparing for job interview, what they should wear for a job interview. You need
Oh, those are the basics. Those that right there, those are the basics. The job presentation and the whole thing. Yeah, that's the basics. When we get a
Keisha,
more
we
elaborate
grown now.
questions,
We need to be
yes,
like,
like I
Keisha.
don't. It's like yeah, you still got some people that's still searching for jobs, but it's like I'm teaching people entrepreneurship, independence. So yeah, we go into a whole other realm.
Yes.
yeah. So we're looking forward to it. So that's what's up right there. So, um, let's talk about the upcoming event. Y'all got an event coming up, right? The
Oh my God,
well, go ahead and plug
Keisha.
that. Y'all got to plug that in.
Yes, so this Saturday we actually have our Halloween artist mashup. So we are showcasing some local artists. They're coming out to perform at Cherry Moon Grill and Bar. And then, of course, Mr. U, he is doing his Mr. U show premiere. So I'm so excited. So he'll be doing a clip over 30 interviews that he has conducted over the past several months, and we're able to just blast that across the scenes and really celebrate the hard work that he has put in the community, and also showcasing and celebrating others. He's helped tell the story behind the brands of so many go-getters that are also out here in the community. And so we're the events that we do, it's just giving back. It's just paying homage to people that are also doing their thing. We
That's
understand.
all it is. That's really all it is.
That's
That's
all that
we
it
we
is.
we giving people their flowers while they still here. That's what we doing.
So good.
Yes.
And then we also have the most amazing event in November 18th. So I invited Mr. U out as a guest speaker. So the Arlington Merchant Mix, we are doing an International Men's Day celebration. So back in May, we celebrate mental health awareness, Women's Month, and there's an International Women's Day. There's so much publicity about, women and our mental health and how we're so important. And I think along the way, we just missed the mark of celebrating the men that we know and love and that are making a positive impact. And the fact of the matter is that men, they have health issues that are a little bit disparaging compared to women. I believe that 33% more of men commit suicide, compared to
Right.
women. And there's so many facts that we need to address as a people, and that we just need to celebrate. We need to take the intentional time out to empower the men, even, and I also like to say celebrate the not so good stuff, because everything in our life is duality and it makes us who we are. So I'm just looking forward to having an event where we just celebrate all of our humanity, but really put the men on the forefront and say that you matter, you are worthy, you are loved, and we're putting you at the forefront and celebrating you for the Merchant Mix November 18th. And so we are honored to have a man, Mr. U, of his stature.
I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. And Keisha know how passionate I am about men's empowerment. I'm not just getting on stage just telling my story. I come from a long lineage of doing men empowerment events. I have the resume, I have the photos, I have the partnerships that can back it up. For years, I've been doing men empowerment. I've been supporting other men empowerment platforms just to make sure that I stay sharp and continue to connect those dots with other men in the community. So, Keisha, I really thank you so much for allowing me the platform to come and just be of motivation, be of inspiration to the room full of people that I know are going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like God has put something in me that they need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So I pray right now that Jesus, and the Lord puts whatever is need to be said for those gentlemen to hear, to install that within me, and I'm able to deliver. So I'm excited. I'm on fire. Keisha, we got some other events coming up. We feeding the homeless in December out in Fort Worth. That's something that we're still working on to promote the promotional material behind, and we're looking for any partnerships and the collaborations that want to come forth and help us with feeding the homeless for the Christmas holidays in December. That's going to be amazing. I know God already has His hand on that, so I'm not really worried about the outcome of it. I know it's going to be amazing because God has already sent people our way that's looking to collaborate with us on those efforts, and we all know that it's needed. And it's going to get cold within a couple of weeks, you guys. So we're doing a coat drive, and I think we say shoe drive, a coat and shoe drive,
Coat and
and
shoe drive.
Okay.
yes, for the homeless, and we're going to feed them in December just to continue to give back and pour into the less fortunate and those that need it in the community. And also, guys, Keisha and I, we're working on and some other partners as well. We're working on doing another Suited Up event, which is a men's empowerment photo shoot event, and we want the ladies to come out too. Every time I've done it, the ladies have been a part of it, but it started off originally as a men's empowerment photo shoot event where we have guys dressed up in suits. You guys have seen me do this before, and so we're bringing it back with the partnership of Keisha. Keisha has been a great motivation. And some of my other partners that you guys will see that's a part of the project, they have been a great motivation for me with scaling this project and bringing it back, because I took probably like a year and a half off from doing it because it became so overwhelming, and I was doing all these other things with supporting like so many other things going on in the community. But God is telling me now is the season to bring it back. So He's also sending the people that's helping me do that. So I'm excited about that. So you guys be looking out for that next month. I'm thinking about doing it around November the 11th, right a week right before the men's event with the Merchant Mix. So we wanted to continue with our efforts, guys. And the thing is, what I love most about the collaboration with that Keisha and I have, it's not one-sided, or it's not just we not just, oh, let's get together, do an event. No, Keisha and we're so good at what we do and so fluent. We have a whole roster of events without even really trying. So and like she said, man, it's all just giving back to the community. It's all just uplifting people. It's all, say, connecting the dots, connecting people, which is what we both love to do. And I know it's going to do great. We just got to stay diligent, continue to show up, and be a support of each other. So, the sky's the limit.
Hey, and that's what it's all about. Doing what you love to do, doing what you're passionate about, and having fun with at the same time, but also
Yes,
building up
don't
with
forget to
people,
have
building up
fun.
a community. Have fun, and also like building up with people, building up the community, building up individuals. Before I got on the show tonight, it made me think about being refocused, get back on focus.
Oh my God.
The task was at hand, and I know a lot of times we lose sight of that, and it kind of reminded me. Of me and you had a conversation the other day, Mr. You on the back end. You have to get back focused, and we all been there where we allow our what's the word kind of look for? We let what's the word I'm gonna look for? Let our standard down, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it makes sense.
then we lose sight of that and we lose focus until we have to get
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
focus again.
Yeah. That speaks heavy to me, Furman. That speaks heavy, bro.
And a lot of
So
that, I just want to remind people, because I shared this with Mr. U as well. I was able to be human again. And I told him,
Transparent.
and transparent, I let him know, like I'm not saying this as a woe is me. I'm saying this for real. Like I've laid a lot of groundwork the past couple years, and I haven't stopped. No matter, there's been so much that's happened in my life, and so many changes, and so many things that I've had to push through. I'm just tired, and I still have a lot on my plate. And I've made a
She do though.
huge decision this past couple days to skim off the fat. To like there's no more busy
That's
for
a whole podcast right there
yes.
alone, Furman. That's a
There's
whole
no
nother show.
more, I can honestly
Skimming
say
off the fat, bro.
there's no more busy work for me. There's no more just doing stuff to say that I did it or to just make sure I'm relevant. No, anything going forward is intentional and has to be in seamless alignment. We have to conserve our time and energy. Reason being, because I've spoke about this on many, even on your show, Furman, I always preach.
You know?
Making sure you're taking care of yourself and you
yeah,
first, so you have the capacity to give to others. I can say right now, I can preach it, but I haven't been practicing that. And so I really have had to do a life analysis and say, okay, I'm going to stop A, B, C, and D so I can be in a contemplation mode. It's not a giving up, it's a giving in to what is possible if I just allow myself to rest. Like what would come out of, I mean, that God gave us the Sabbath. Why? Because it's a necessity. Like until we rest, until we can contemplate, until we can have a clear mind, our vision won't manifest into the capacity that not only has an impact, we've impacted hundreds of people. But I think where we run ourselves ragged is we're trying to go around to all these different places and impact all these different groups. What
right,
about a global impact at 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 times a year where you're impacting thousands of people at one time? So you have to be strategic. Like I have so much to give, but how can I be more clear and concise with my strategy?
right,
And I think until you take a step back and allow some of those other resources to enter into your life, you're just going to be running off of dead fumes, and you do a disservice. You do a disservice to yourself and to the people that you're looking to impact. And so it's very important for us to be real, to be honest, to be vulnerable, and to be strategic and not just running around like a chicken with their heads cut off. Like,
I know.
you've done enough work.
Hey, I agree, and I appreciate you, Mr. U, for who you are. Know what you're doing. Like I said, me and you had a conversation. Matter of fact, last week had a conversation. We talked,
Yes.
and he really enlightened me on some things, stuff like that. And a lot of times, you got to take a step back and to reflect. Okay, where did I go wrong at? Where I dropped the ball at? And really get back on focus point again. I remember years ago, somebody told me a long time ago. It was a friend of mine. She said, "Furman, never let nobody write your success." And I forget about that. And I allow that to come in, not knowing that those people that came in will try to set you up for failure.
They will, bro. They will, dog. That's why that discernment come in at. That's what that discernment. I don't even know if it's discernment. I think it's just experience. You know what I'm saying? Like with people, you know what I'm saying? Like you a people person, so it's like otherwise you just know how to read people, and sometimes you know who God told me I am in Christ. I know I'm able to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to read people, bro. Sometimes I know what somebody's gonna do before they do it, so I know how to do things. And then when they actually respond, how I thought they was, I was like, okay, I already knew to have you at a long leash anyway. I knew it. I saw it. I just saw it in your character. I just saw it in your personality. And then when you show your head, you know what I'm saying? It ain't too much maneuvering I gotta do because I already know, like God already got me covered and showed me what I needed to see anyway. So then it just makes, and it's crazy for me because those people. I like to see when they remove themselves. You know what I'm saying? I like when God set it up and it's like you did what? You okay, well I appreciate that. So that just helps me. Like that makes that's scaling for me too. That helps me. Look, I ain't gotta weed that out. You remove yourself because you knew your guilty conscience was in you alive anyway.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And Keisha, girl, what you just said is so powerful. You know what I'm saying? That's so powerful.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? That leverage, man, and understanding how that operates. And it's crazy because there's a lot of things that you said in that whole paragraph that for a long time I thought everybody understood that. I thought that's how a lot of people operated. But like I said, when I found out that a lot of people don't have those key elements of success, those things that you got to have to be a success story. So, but you know, once you realize everybody ain't got that, you realize, oh, okay, that help you understand your purpose. They help you understand who you are and what your duty is in this land. So, you know, you just gotta know how to move accordingly.
Yeah, you just learn to be more selective. Not everything is an opportunity. It is literally
right.
You gotta watch out for opportunists. You know that an opportunist doesn't care about the opportunity from the bigger picture. It's like being in survival mode. And so you being a genuine person or really having a passion for people, you're like, oh yeah, I'll give you this opportunity, you know? And it's like they'll take the breadcrumbs, you know, and it's like, no, like, but that's how the mindset is. And so, you know, it's just important to know who you are, what your vision is, and really the only way you can attract what you need is to be clear about who you are and what it is that you want, you know? And once you start seeing those things manifest, like you start attracting people that just get it, you don't have to over explain or, you know, it's really a blessing. And so I'm thankful for where we're at. I'm thankful for where we're going. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like we've said over and over again, it's a giving back. It's a paying homage and us trying to give others the experience of certain things that have worked in our lives amidst the mistakes and the horror stories. So and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that's what our message will continue to be.
Yeah. And Furman, bro, I definitely want to shout you out too, man. You've been really consistent with this show, man. And I'm telling you, from one brother to the next, bro, I see you, and I congratulate you. And So I continue to want to just bless and be a part of this platform, bro, because I see a lot of different podcasts. I see a lot of people trying to start these platforms, bro. But you're one of the few people that I've seen consistent.
Yes.
Appreciate you. I appreciate
So
you, Mr.
that means a lot. You're creating a platform, you're creating a space and a stage for a lot of the people to come on here and really talk about what they're passionate about. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot to be able to give of yourself
Yeah.
like in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not always about you. You know what I'm saying? But you're really great at ad libbing and getting people comfortable with talking about what they love to talk about, which is themselves. So,
Yeah.
bro, I definitely salute you for that.
I
Much more
salute you too, man.
success, man. Much more success. Like I'm praying sponsorships and investors and everything because I know how it
I
is. You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it.
Having a platform and you wanted to go the distance. So, brother, I definitely appreciate you and congratulate you in this moment.
I appreciate you as well. Also, Missy, I gave you your cigar as well because we had a conversation. Something happened. We talked about it. Somebody tried to leave it like that, but me and him, we talked about it and we laughed because we were very entertaining and we
Yeah,
laughed
it was, and we
and
resolved it too.
and
Yeah,
we resolved it too. And that takes two real men to resolve something what somebody happened, which I know that's a trick of the enemy. But you live and learn. You live and learn. I'm not the type of dude. I got a heart. And
yeah.
somebody told me,
Keisha know the person. Keisha know the
your heart.
person. We spoke about the person too.
Somebody told me, man, your heart told
Yeah,
me. The same person told me your heart gonna get you in a world of trouble. And my
yeah,
heart do get me in a world of trouble because I'm so passionate about people, give people opportunities, and they do these things and they scrutinize you, spread things about you for what? And then somebody tried to start something between me and him, but me and him talked about it. We talked about it and squashed it, and we still move
yeah.
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's like you said, that's definitely a trick of the enemy, bro. You gotta understand what he seeks. You know what I'm saying? What he seeks to what? Destroy and
Skill, still
devour.
destroy.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? But we was able to talk about it, and I think the root of it is that person saw that we're still elevating. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So they see that, man, he's partnering with Keisha. They are dominating. He's about to be on Furman show. They're dominating. So anytime somebody sees that, bro, and trust me, Keisha, it's ringing. It's ringing miles throughout this land what we're doing.
Yes,
You know
definitely.
what I'm saying? Just because they don't hit the like button, trust and believe, we
Oh, I
making
already know
noise.
that.
So
I
you know what I'm
already
saying?
know that.
Anybody that sees that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Furman, along your way, you have partnerships that don't work out. You know what I'm
True.
saying? And
Yeah.
they don't want to see you go to the next and do good. It's just a thing. But
Right.
when they see that, man, like this guy is favored, bro. He it's like God keeps just giving us chances and opportunities and stuff like that. So it be those haters, man, that really they fans.
That's
They
all.
are.
So
That's all. And we gotta give a
They're
big shout out
inspired.
all the time. You gotta give a big shout out to Alexis too. Oh, big shout out to Alexis. She has a podcast here. She does it every Tuesday. Alexis, you still in the comment
Hi,
section.
Alexis.
Go ahead and plug in because you do your show every Tuesday. She's coming on. I got her coming on the show. They got the end of this
Okay.
month, I think. She's a podcast here in the DFW. So Alexis, go ahead and plug in your
let's get
podcast
it.
so we can know about it.
Yes.
You do it every Tuesday. That you said stranger will support you for your friends will. Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's
That's
the
true
thing.
right
That's
there. I'm
what
gonna use that one. I like that one.
And that's the way it's
They do
supposed to
though.
be. Our
Yeah.
target audience are not our friends and family. So we got to be clear on that. Like,
Yeah.
when we're going into business and going into our vision, it's not for our friends and family.
That's
When
the
you
that's the warm
start,
market. When you cross over
when
to that cold market, people who you
yes,
don't know. Yeah, that's
you
when you're a real entrepreneur.
yes, when you're a real entrepreneur, you have to go in and really study the demographic of who it is that you're going to provide your products and services to. And one thing I want to say, so I'm not going to shout out, maybe I shouldn't say it. I am going to say it. Don't ever fret. Like, don't ever post. Don't ever give energy to people that you think should be supporting but are not.
Hmm.
Reason being is that number one, they're not obligated to. Because as a business person, Walmart didn't get into business saying that they were going to serve their friends and family. Okay. Neither did Michael Kors or Louis Vuitton and all of that. But I want to be careful because I don't want to give nothing out. Just don't give the energy. Like if you throw an event or if you have something going on and it does not turn out the way that you think it should, don't go back on Facebook and rant about it because the
You see
world
that? They
the
be doing that.
people do it all the time, but the world is
Yeah.
bigger than what you got going on and what you have to offer. You just never know what people are going through. They might not have the money, the resources, the just what it takes to get your product and service or to show up. And so what you have to do is just give your all. Like give your all to the people that do support. And
That's how you win every time.
a like, share, and comment and a word of mouth referral is just as important as
It
someone
is.
buying from you. And so just be thankful for the people that are supporting from the back end and just continue to believe in your vision and don't give up because it doesn't look like what you think it should look like right now. Like be consistent and push through. Like you have to
Right.
push through. It's business is going to test you to see if this is really what you want to be doing or not. you know.
Yeah, no, for
Um,
real. Can you
And
make it
that's what
over
it is,
that
Keisha.
hump? Can you make it over
Yeah,
that?
Keisha.
yeah.
Also, with Keisha, don't miss you. I think a lot of time individuals they get so caught up in numbers. They look at somebody's video or picture, or they got like over a million some followers, and they get discouraged. I only got these minutes, but it takes time. It's about staying consistent. Like you mentioned, it's not an overnight thing. And like some interview, they get very discouraged by numbers.
Well, and also
Yeah.
look at it this way. You know what I look at? Because number one, I don't have a lot of followers and stuff like that. But what I know is that people know me in real life. I've never been the person to try. I've never got on social media trying to get followers because in real life, I've been trying to teach people how to be leaders. So when I
Right.
see people, and I don't want to say this to talk down, but I just want to give a perspective, right? So this is
Yeah.
how I'm
Mm-hmm.
different according to most people. When I see a lot of followers, I see a lot of people that don't have their own way. So I don't follow a lot of people because I'm not worried about what other people are doing and I'm not looking to other people for certain advice. I'm very selective. So, number one, you got to think about bots. Number one, are they organic followers? Number two, there's so many people out here that have an ego issue and they purchase followers. I know that for sure. So you can have followers, but put them in a business marketing pilot and see if the return of investment is there. Let's get down to business, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
do not get hung up on what you see on social media. What I want has more engagements. I'll be there when you succeed, not for the build up.
Is
I'd
there?
rather be a part of something that has more people in engagement. Well, that's
Exactly.
Oh
that's
yes, it took
the
me a thought
return.
also.
That's where the return of investment. So people get
That's Alexis. Hey, Alexis.
yes. So many people get hung up on engagement. Engagement doesn't necessarily mean return of investment. People can like, share, and comment all day, but are they purchasing your product and service? Your target audience matters. Your funnel matters. Many people don't know what a customer funnel experience is.
Mm.
That's why it's so important not just to have a vision and say, hey, I'm a business owner, but do you know the business 101? Like, do you know what it takes keep a customer, a lifetime customer, a returning customer? Like, do you have the certain logistics and systems in place to make sure that they have a seamless customer experience? And most people don't. That's just the reality of it. So find out. I think I've worked with hundreds of business owners over the past couple years. A lot of people are doing the same thing. There's so much. I don't want to say the markets are oversaturated, but when you have people that are doing the same thing without a very key thing that sets them apart, it's not going to bring the revenue that you're looking for. And that's why we have so many businesses that fail within the first 2 years. And so I think it's time for real conversations around entrepreneurship too, right?
Well, let me ask you that too.
The thing is, because you have to build your brand. There's no shortcut to it. I think a lot of people have fabricated it and watered it down. You have to build your brand. Even the Fortune 500 companies that all of us enjoy now, it's like these people had to build. It's like probably they was in the basement of their house or in their garage.
Amazon.
You have to build your brand respectfully. You can't cut line on it.
So basically, you have individuals who rather take shortcut instead of putting their blood, sweat, and tears into a thing.
They rather just pay for it. They got the money to do it, so they probably went in. They probably had some. They probably had silver spoon or family got money or whatever, so they was able to go into their business venture with all this capital. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's not that same story with everybody. So you have to build it. You have to build it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go and buy followers. Like all of my followers are organic. I didn't go and buy mine. Not saying that I couldn't, but it's like, no, I'd rather have the ones that can reach out and get to know me for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And we continue to cater it that way versus having all these people that's come in and liking my stuff. And it's like, we have no relationship,
And that's why I created the Arlington Merchant Mix, because my radio show was an international radio show. And I wanted to make sure, I'm not a radio person. I got into radio, but it was through a line of events that kind of happened. But I'm a personable person. So I always said that I want people to know me in real life. And
I'm a people person. It's like you can't take that from me. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Keisha, it's been
hard to come across, I've been in business for 3 years and I really haven't had I can't say any outrageous hiccups or anything, but one thing, if anything has ever come across the board, I have people that can vouch for me in real life. So if something were to come up, you have to have people that advocate for you. Like, that's not her character. Or why don't you just give her a call? Because I know she'll do X, Y, and Z, and I've taken pride in being a boots on the ground media personality. Me
for
real life, not just on social media. I mean, I've set up dates, like even with like women, like, oh, you want to pick my brain, like, and randomly gone out to lunch, dinner, like whatever with people when I was building my brand, when there wasn't, like, when people didn't really know what I Am Radio was. They knew me based off of my healing journey. I built my following before I got into I Am Radio. And it was based off of my healing journey. And then once I started the radio and the Merchant Mix, it was like, okay, like,
I think people appreciate it more when they, when you do it that way, when you build it from the mud up and you bring those people. It's like, you guys have noticed on my social media, I do a lot of behind the scenes of like when I'm doing photo shoots or I'm at a networking event or I'm at anywhere. It's like I'm doing all the behind the scenes content. I'm tagging the people who I meet so you can get to know them, follow them or whatever. But I'm making my audience a part of my journey. They're there with me, watching me build.
Yes.
They want to be a part of it's like you're making, that's what branding is. You know what I'm saying? You're making the community a part of what you are growing. You know what I'm saying? It's like that actually makes the whole experience more enjoyable when you can show these people like, look, yes, I'm a real person. I'm out here doing something that you can be doing too. But you rather sit at home and watch me do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can be out here doing it too. But you got those followers. You got those people. That's what they do. So you got some people who will chime in every now and then and try to support you or try to, make a referral or try to partner with you to do an event or something when they know it's something that you do. So you got those people, but you still got to know, so even how to decipher between those, because you got to be careful who you attach your brand to too. But the thing is, Keisha, you know it. Furman, you know it. I've seen you guys consistent for the last couple of years. That's why I'm so blessed and honored to be attached to you guys. But you have to build your brand.
You have to.
It takes work.
It takes work. What Alexis said. She said, everybody wants to be a part of something, having a tribe to revive with it.
Revive with this essential.
Okay.
Yeah. Most definitely. And
yeah,
also,
Alexis and I, we're gonna work together too. She already put it out there. Alexis hit me up. She sent me a message like, Mr. U, I want to partner with you on something. She's like, I love your style. I said, Alexis, just let me know. But Alexis is amazing. She has some events going on. Shout out to Alexis. She's amazing. She's I met her a part of the DFW Network Chamber.
Okay.
I actually just joined that chamber, I think last month sometime, and man, they pumping out events too. And what I love about being a part of all these different chambers, because Keisha invited me out to the Arlington Black Chamber of Commerce a few weeks ago. And what I love about these chambers, bro, is like these people really be doing stuff out in the community too.
Wow.
So when you sit here and combine your efforts with intentions like that, Keisha, that's the word I think you was looking for earlier. When you move with intentions like that, bro, you become so successful. You become like powerful intentionally that you really you become a force that can be reckoned with.
Right.
And I saw it in the captions. You put the well-known Mr. U's Closet. Yeah, I mean my brand has been around for years. I've been in the fashion industry myself for 24 years, bro. You know what I'm saying?
A long time.
So, yes, you see what I'm saying? Like, at it, but at the same time, elevating. Because I hate to be at that feeling where I'm stagnant or I'm swinging. I like to be elevated. You know what I'm saying? From modeling to doing styling to doing photography, doing fashion shows, production, doing events with Keisha, it's like I love that feeling of elevation.
And I'm glad
but that goes. You gotta build. You gotta build, y'all.
Guys, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna play this clip. And this is one powerful clip I gotta share. I'm gonna play it right now.
Kim, man, constant elevation causes expansion. I live my life by that right now. Constant elevation causes expansion. So when you tight and you say I only do this, you constrict yourself, so nothing can come in. This is what you do. This is what I eat. No matter how much money I get, I'm staying here. Yeah. Well, that life is about constant elevation causes expansion. I write my rhymes while cooler than mansion. And then he gave you the sweetness. He gave you the jewel of all jewels.
I love that, bro. I love that. The reason why I love that, I think me and Mr. U, Mr. U asked me earlier. He's like, Keisha, you've never been in the fashion industry, and I was like, no, not my backwood hillbilly self. Like I'm not a fashion person, I know when to step, and like when I step intentional, I know my brand and I know what people speak of and commend me on with my brand when I do step, but I'm not the fashion person, and I'm very okay with saying that. But Mr. U has invited me into expansion. What does that mean? Expanding new horizons, and he's welcomed me into that. He's not scared like, oh, she's gonna come over here and galvanize this. Number one, I made it clear I don't care about it, but I'm willing to learn from him, and I'm willing to just explore and just to expand. It doesn't mean I have to do anything with it. It's just a new experience, and that's another good thing about partnership. It's experiences and
scaling.
It's
scaling one-on-one. I'm telling you.
So that constant elevation leads to expansion.
Expansion allows you to elevate because
That's
you
it.
That's what everybody wants. Like, why don't everybody? I said, like, why do everybody should want to elevate, bro? Like, come on, what are you doing this for?
I know, right?
That's what we doing. That's what we do. We do what we do to elevate. To if it's to make more money, to reach a bigger audience, to meet new people. You gotta elevate. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's what it's about, though. Yeah.
And that's what I know. Pressing for time, and I know y'all two very productive people. I know y'all got to get some work done.
Yeah, now
so
you're doing backflips now. Gotta get.
All right. So before you get off there, Mr. U, do you have any words of advice, any words of wisdom to leave you with the audience?
Oh man, you should let Keisha go first. But I don't know, man. Just you know what I'm saying? Love always conquers, man. Love always conquers. No reason to hate. There's enough out here for all of us to eat. But that apple that's right at the top that you want to get, and it's easier to get it if you climb that ladder with some friends, some people that you trust, and people who want that apple just as bad as you want it. Y'all climb that ladder together, man. Y'all can enjoy that apple and have a great time and appreciate it even more. You feel me? It might be some more apples up there too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So same, Keisha, any words of advice and words of wisdom for the listening audience?
Yes, definitely. I mean, my word of advice is to, just again, I'm gonna say this, is to find your niche. Too many of us have tried or are trying to do the next best thing. And I think it's time for us to be real with who we are and where we're going and identifying where we want to go in life, and that it doesn't have to be grandeur. It doesn't have to be on this big scale. The best thing to do is the next right thing, and that next right thing will lead to the right things. And so find your niche, self-educate, get you some mentors, and really work on yourself.
Definitely get you some mentors, bro.
Yeah, definitely work on yourself to see what you really want so you can attract those things that are going to help you get to where you're supposed to be, not where everybody else is, but where you're supposed to be. That way you're really fulfilled. You want to be fulfilled in this life. So it's important to think about that now. Like, what really fulfills me? Not just running a business and opening this up and trying this out or that out, but being clear and concise about who I am and what I came here to do. That way you can withstand the ups and downs. And it's intentional is what that's the word that we're gonna
That's the word for 2024. We moving with intentions.
Intentional.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Awesome stuff. Man, I appreciate y'all. Nobody really y'all know y'all got some work y'all gotta do because I know y'all very, very, very productive people. We're back here tomorrow night here at the same time at 7 p.m. Man, y'all have a great night. Love yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself, work on yourself, grow, self-educate, evolve, constant elevation, expansion, expand your horizon, and be on the man. Y'all be blessed and have a great night. I'll be back here tomorrow night here on Walking the Way Impact Podcast. Everybody.